What is true happiness? In the modern world, we often find ourselves swept up in the demands of work, personal responsibilities, and ambitions. We strive to make money, reach social goals, and live comfortably. But at some point, you may wonder, does all of this truly bring happiness? Have you ever felt that, even amid a bustling cityscape filled with skyscrapers, car horns, and constant rush, there is still an empty corner within your soul? Perhaps you've realized that despite having material security, some of you remain unsatisfied. In moments of quiet reflection, you might consider that happiness isn't merely about accumulating wealth or securing a stable career. It has to be something else, something deeper and more spiritually fulfilling. Some wealthy people remain anxious and empty, while others, who live humbly, radiate joy and inner peace. So what's the difference between these two groups? The journey to discovering happiness today will explore Buddhist teachings that guide us toward living a peaceful and joyful life. These teachings of the Buddha hold timeless wisdom that can bring us clarity not only in ancient times but also in our modern society. They show us what is truly important and how to live fully. Starting with the big questions. To understand true happiness, we should start with some fundamental questions. Why do we feel unsettled? Does achieving success and wealth truly bring happiness? What are the elements that sustain peace within our hearts? These questions will be our compass for the journey ahead. I invite you, during this time, to set aside daily concerns, open your heart to receive the wisdom of Buddhism, and explore with me how we can apply these philosophies to achieve true happiness in life. Why wealth doesn't equate to happiness? We often hear about the success stories of people who made it in life, the entrepreneurs, executives, and celebrities who seem to have it all. They have wealth, social status, and access to things most people can only dream of. Yet as we look deeper, we realize that many of them still struggle with personal issues, family conflicts, and an underlying feeling of dissatisfaction. The Buddha taught us that wealth, while offering comfort and material security, cannot guarantee happiness or peace of mind. True happiness, according to his teachings, requires an inner transformation that goes beyond external achievements. The illusion of security through wealth. For most of us, wealth seems like the ultimate goal because it represents security, freedom, and comfort. When we have money, we feel like we can avoid the common struggles of life and buy the things we desire. However, wealth can also become a trap, creating a cycle where we continuously seek more, thinking that the next level of success will bring fulfillment. This cycle is often fueled by comparison with others and a constant drive to maintain or enhance our status. Imagine, for example, a highly successful businessman who has dedicated years to building his empire. He has amassed enough wealth to live comfortably for the rest of his life. Yet he finds himself constantly worried about maintaining his success, losing time with his family, and dealing with health issues caused by years of stress. His journey shows us that while wealth has given him certain privileges, it has also brought stress and isolation. This is why the Buddha emphasized that we must seek balance in life, rather than focusing solely on material wealth. Finding a balance between wealth and inner peace. So, how can we balance the pursuit of financial security with the desire for peace of mind? According to Buddhist teachings, one approach is to understand the impermanent nature of material things. The Buddha taught that everything in life, including wealth, is transient and subject to change. When we realize this, we start to see wealth as a tool for supporting our needs rather than a source of happiness itself. For instance, there was a time when a famous Buddhist monk, Ajahn Brahm, was asked by his disciples why he seemed so content despite not owning anything. He replied with a story about how he once lived a busy life with many possessions, only to find that the more he had, the more he worried. By letting go of his attachment to material things, he discovered a profound sense of freedom and peace. This story illustrates that by shifting our perspective on wealth, we can enjoy its benefits without letting it control us. Practical steps to cultivate peace alongside financial success. Practice contentment. Begin by appreciating what you already have. Practicing gratitude for your current situation helps reduce the constant craving for more, a habit that often leads to restlessness and dissatisfaction. Use wealth to support well-being. Focus on how your wealth can enhance your physical and mental well-being. This might mean investing in experiences that promote happiness, such as travel, education, or community service, rather than just accumulating possessions. Prioritize relationships. Spend time nurturing meaningful relationships rather than letting work or material pursuits take over. Relationships and connections with loved ones are fundamental sources of joy that no amount of wealth can replace. Remember impermanence. Remind yourself regularly of the impermanent nature of all things. This awareness helps prevent attachment to wealth and prepares you to handle financial ups and downs with greater resilience. In summary, while wealth can contribute to a comfortable life, true happiness arises from inner peace, mindfulness, and meaningful connections. The Buddha's teachings remind us to cultivate a balanced life where wealth serves as a means, not an end, allowing us to experience a deeper, lasting form of contentment. In the next section, we will explore another critical aspect of happiness, the power of words and how we communicate with those around us. The power of words, how communication shapes our happiness. The words we use each day have a profound impact on our lives and the lives of those around us. Words can inspire, uplift, and bring comfort, but they can also hurt, divide, and cause deep suffering. According to the Buddha, mindful communication is essential to creating a life of peace and joy. When we speak with kindness, respect, and awareness, our words become tools for building meaningful connections and promoting happiness within ourselves and others. Yet, in the heat of daily interactions, we often forget the power of our words. We may react impulsively, say things we don't mean, or use language that carries frustration or negativity. Learning to be mindful in our communication is a journey that can transform both our relationships and our inner peace. The influence of words on relationships and inner peace. Think of a time when someone said something that deeply hurt you, or conversely, lifted your spirits during a difficult moment. It's remarkable how the same act of speaking can have such contrasting outcomes, depending on the intention and awareness behind it. Words create an energy that affects both the speaker and the listener. When we use kind, supportive words, we invite peace and warmth. In contrast, harsh or insensitive language can leave lasting scars and create tension. Consider a story from Buddhist tradition about a wise monk who practiced right speech diligently. One day, a student came to him in anger, speaking disrespectfully. The monk, rather than reacting with anger, replied with calmness and compassion, asking the student what had troubled him so deeply. By choosing to respond with understanding, the monk transformed a moment of conflict into a learning opportunity. This story highlights that our words have the power to calm or escalate situations, shape relationships, and even heal emotional wounds. Practicing mindful communication. Mindful communication isn't just about avoiding hurtful words. It's about cultivating an attitude of compassion, honesty, and kindness in all interactions. Here are some steps to help incorporate mindful speech into daily life. Pause before speaking. Taking a moment to pause can prevent impulsive responses. Before responding to someone, especially in tense situations, take a deep breath and consider whether your words are necessary, true, and kind. Choose words carefully. Select words that convey your thoughts clearly but also respectfully. Avoid exaggerations, criticism, or words that might trigger defensiveness. Think of communication as an opportunity to build understanding rather than winning a conversation. Listen actively. Mindful communication is as much about listening as it is about speaking. Focus on truly hearing the other person without judgment or planning a response. By giving full attention, we show respect and create a safe space for open, honest exchange. Express appreciation. Small acts of appreciation can go a long way in making others feel valued. Thanking someone for their efforts, complimenting a positive quality, or simply acknowledging their presence with kindness can brighten their day and strengthen bonds. Apologies, sincerely. If words have caused unintended hurt, apologizing with sincerity is vital. A genuine apology acknowledges the other person's feelings and demonstrates accountability, helping to mend and deepen relationships. A real-life example: the transformative power of compassionate speech. Imagine a manager facing a challenging day at work who, out of frustration, criticizes a team member's efforts harshly. The team member feels unappreciated and demoralized, which affects their performance and morale. However, consider if the manager had paused and, rather than reacting from stress, offered feedback with encouragement and understanding. This shift could transform the interaction, empowering the team members and fostering a positive work environment. Such a scenario shows how small adjustments in communication style can impact people and improve the overall atmosphere. Reflection: why mindful speech matters for our happiness. Mindful speech not only improves our relationships but also nurtures inner peace. When we communicate with empathy and understanding, we feel lighter and less burdened by regret or guilt. By aligning our words with our values, we live more authentically, fostering self-respect and a clear conscience. This harmony between words and actions leads to a sense of fulfillment, as we know that we are contributing positively to the lives of those around us. The Buddha's teaching on right speech reminds us that mindful, compassionate communication is a powerful pathway to both personal happiness and harmonious relationships. When we speak with kindness and integrity, our words become blessings, helping us and others find joy and understanding. In the next section, we'll explore the principle of living simply for greater happiness, a lesson from Buddhism that emphasizes reducing material wants to enhance spiritual fulfillment.
Living simply for greater happiness. In a world where we're constantly encouraged to want more, own more, and achieve more, the concept of living simply may seem outdated. Yet the Buddha taught that simplicity is a direct path to inner peace and happiness. By reducing our attachment to material things and focusing on what truly matters, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of desire and dissatisfaction. Living simply doesn't mean giving up comfort or convenience. It means valuing what we have, cultivating gratitude, and releasing the need for constant accumulation. Understanding the weight of material desires. Imagine you're carrying a heavy backpack up a mountain. Every material desire we have, new clothes, gadgets, luxury items, is like adding another stone to the pack. Eventually, the weight becomes so overwhelming that it's impossible to continue. Similarly, when we fill our lives with things that we don't truly need, we burden our minds and souls, creating stress, anxiety, and even unhappiness. Take the story of a young professional who, after years of hard work, finally moved into a lavish apartment in a city. She bought expensive furniture and the latest electronics and filled her closet with designer clothes. However, as time went on, she realized that her possessions didn't bring the satisfaction she expected. The more she bought, the less content she felt. Her story reflects what many of us experience. The fleeting pleasure of new things is quickly replaced by the desire for something else. How living simply enhances happiness. Living simply doesn't mean living without. It means embracing a mindful approach to life and recognizing that true happiness doesn't come from accumulating things. Here are ways simplicity can enhance our happiness. Less clutter, more clarity. When we reduce physical clutter, our mental space clears as well. A tidy, uncluttered environment creates a sense of calm and focus, allowing us to enjoy what we already have. Reduce stress. Simplicity reduces the stress of maintaining possessions and the pressure to keep up with societal standards. We feel less of a need to compare ourselves to others, which reduces anxiety and increases inner peace. Greater appreciation. Living with less fosters gratitude for the things we do have. When we cherish each item and experience, we find joy in simplicity and reduce the constant craving for more. More time for what matters. Without the constant drive to acquire, we find more time and energy to invest in relationships, hobbies, and personal growth, which brings lasting fulfillment. Steps to embrace a simpler life. Evaluate what truly adds value. Take a step back and look at your possessions. Identify which items genuinely add value to your life and which are merely taking up space. Donate, sell, or recycle items that don't serve a meaningful purpose. Prioritize experiences over things. Investing in experiences, like travel, learning, and quality time with loved ones, often brings more joy than material goods. Experiences enrich our lives in ways that possessions can't. Practice contentment. Learn to be content with what you have rather than constantly seeking more. Contentment is a powerful antidote to consumerism and helps build a sense of peace within. Set boundaries on new purchases. Before making a new purchase, ask yourself if the item aligns with your values and genuinely enhances your life. This mindful approach helps avoid impulse buys and keeps spending purposeful. A personal story of simplicity and contentment. Consider a retired couple who decided to downsize from a large home to a modest apartment. At first, they hesitated, fearing they'd feel confined or miss their possessions. But as they adjusted, they discovered that living with fewer things made them feel freer and more connected. They found themselves enjoying simple daily routines, spending more time together, and reconnecting with old hobbies. Their choice to simplify brought unexpected joy and deepened their appreciation for life's small pleasures. Reflecting on the Buddha's wisdom of simplicity. The Buddha's teaching of simplicity encourages us to view life with clarity and purpose. It reminds us that happiness doesn't come from external things, but from cultivating peace within. By embracing simplicity, we liberate ourselves from the constant need to acquire, opening up space for gratitude, mindfulness, and joy. In this way, simplicity isn't about sacrifice, but about rediscovering what truly matters. Living simply isn't about giving up luxuries. It's about gaining the freedom to focus on life's deeper joys. The Buddha's wisdom shows us that when we let go of excess, we gain peace, balance, and contentment. Aligning words with actions. The foundation of integrity and inner strength. One of the most powerful principles in the Buddha's teachings is the importance of aligning words with actions. When our words match our actions, we build trust, demonstrate integrity, and foster a sense of self-respect. This alignment is crucial not only for our relationships with others, but also for our relationship with ourselves. Living in alignment with what we say reinforces our values, giving us a foundation of inner strength and peace. The power of consistency. Between words and actions, consider someone who often makes promises but rarely keeps them. Over time, others begin to lose trust in them, and they may even start doubting themselves. On the other hand, when we consistently follow through on our words, we cultivate a reputation of reliability and authenticity. In the Buddhist view, this consistency is an expression of truthfulness and integrity, which are essential for inner peace. Imagine a teacher who tells their students about the importance of kindness and patience, but loses their temper at the smallest mistake. The students may hear the teacher's words, but quickly learn that these words lack weight. In contrast, if the teacher practices patience and kindness, their actions will naturally inspire students to do the same. This story highlights that our actions are often more powerful than words alone, shaping how others perceive us and reinforcing our values. Living with integrity in everyday life. Aligning our words with our actions is not always easy, especially when faced with challenges, temptations, or pressure from others. However, making the effort to do so creates a life that feels purposeful, genuine, and trustworthy. Here are some practical steps to cultivate integrity. Make promises mindfully. Only commit to things you know you can follow through on. Making mindful promises builds a habit of integrity and prevents the stress of trying to meet unrealistic expectations. Pause before speaking. Take a moment to consider whether what you're about to say is true, necessary, and aligned with your values. This pause helps ensure that your words and intentions are in harmony. Acknowledge mistakes. Nobody is perfect. When our actions fall short of our words, taking responsibility and apologizing sincerely helps rebuild trust and strengthens our character. Follow through on your goals. When we set personal goals, following through on them, even in small ways, builds self-respect. Consistency in personal actions reinforces our belief in ourselves and keeps us on the growth path. A story of integrity and growth. Consider the story of a young woman who, in her early career, took on a management role. She promised her team that she would always listen to their concerns and support their growth. However, when work became stressful, she found herself neglecting these promises, prioritizing productivity over her commitment to her team. Noticing the disconnect between her intentions and actions, she decided to make a change. She began scheduling regular one-on-one meetings, giving her team time to voice their thoughts and encouraging their development. This adjustment restored the trust of her team and rekindled her passion for her work. Her journey shows us that integrity isn't about perfection. It's about recognizing when we fall short and making the effort to realign with our values. Why integrity strengthens inner peace. When we act in alignment with our words, we foster a sense of harmony within ourselves. We feel grounded, confident, and at peace because we know that we are living by our true beliefs. Integrity is a form of self-respect that allows us to walk through life with clarity and purpose, free from the inner conflict that arises when we betray our values. Aligning words with actions builds trust, both with others and within ourselves. The Buddha's teachings on integrity remind us that our words are not just sounds, but commitments that shape our character. By honoring our words, we create a life that is authentic, trustworthy, and deeply fulfilling. Embracing life's challenges and transforming suffering. In life, suffering is unavoidable. We encounter loss, disappointment, hardship, and change, often when we least expect it. According to the Buddha's teachings, rather than avoiding or resisting these experiences, embracing them with an open heart allows us to transform suffering into growth and resilience. This approach doesn't mean we seek out pain, but rather that we learn to face it mindfully and accept it as an essential part of the human journey. Understanding suffering as part of life's journey. Imagine you're traveling a long road. Along the way, you come across obstacles, rocks, hills, storms. You can either turn back or you can accept these challenges as part of the journey, navigating around them and learning with each step. Similarly, the Buddha taught that suffering is part of life's path and that our response to suffering shapes our inner peace. By understanding and accepting this, we reduce the mental anguish that often accompanies pain and allow ourselves to heal more naturally. One well-known story in Buddhism is the tale of Kisa Gautami, a woman who sought the Buddha's help after her son passed away. Overwhelmed by grief, she asked him to bring her son back to life. The Buddha told her to find a mustard seed from a home that had never experienced loss. As she went from house to house, she realized that every family had faced loss in some way. This understanding allowed her to accept her suffering and move toward healing. Her story illustrates that suffering is universal and that acceptance can be the first step toward peace, transforming suffering into strength. By accepting suffering as part of life, we create room for transformation. Every challenge we face has the potential to build resilience, deepen our compassion, and help us understand ourselves better. Here are ways to approach suffering with an open heart. Practice mindful acceptance. Acknowledge your feelings without judgment. Allow yourself to experience pain without labeling it as bad or trying to suppress it. Acceptance brings clarity, helping us see our suffering in a broader context. Seek meaning in adversity. Reflect on what the experience teaches you. Adversity often brings valuable life lessons about patience, humility, and the importance of support. By finding meaning in pain, we transform suffering into a stepping stone toward personal growth. Cultivate compassion for others. Suffering fosters empathy. When we face difficulties, we gain insight into the struggles of others. This compassion not only eases our own pain, but also strengthens our connections and creates a sense of shared humanity. Focus on resilience. Remind yourself of previous challenges you've overcome. Recognize your inner strength and resilience. This practice helps build confidence in your ability to handle future difficulties with grace and determination. A story of resilience in the face of adversity. Consider the story of a young athlete who faced a serious injury, ending his dreams of competing professionally. He was devastated, feeling as though his identity and purpose had been taken away. After a period of mourning, he decided to use his experience to help others, becoming a coach and mentor to young athletes. By accepting his suffering, he transformed it into a new source of purpose and fulfillment. His story reminds us that even the darkest moments can serve as a bridge to new paths and unexpected joys. Reflections on suffering as a path to joy. The Buddha's teachings on suffering reveal a powerful truth. Joy and pain are interconnected. Without understanding hardship, we may never fully appreciate peace. Embracing suffering doesn't eliminate it, but it helps us move through it gracefully, with wisdom and strength. By transforming suffering, we uncover a deeper sense of resilience, joy, and connection to life itself. Embracing life's challenges with courage and compassion allows us to transform suffering into growth and inner strength. The Buddha's wisdom teaches us that suffering isn't something to escape, but a part of the journey toward a fuller, richer life. Mindfulness and breath awareness. Finding peace in the present moment. In our busy lives, it's easy to feel disconnected from the present, constantly dwelling on the past or worrying about the future. Mindfulness, especially through breath awareness, is one of the most effective ways to reconnect with the present moment. According to the Buddha's teachings, the practice of mindfulness brings clarity, calm, and a profound sense of inner peace. By simply focusing on our breath, we can cultivate a state of mindfulness that anchors us, reduces stress, and allows us to experience life more fully. The importance of mindfulness in everyday life. Mindfulness is the practice of bringing full attention to the present moment without judgment. It involves observing our thoughts, emotions, and sensations with openness and curiosity. In the Buddha's teachings, mindfulness is a path to liberation from mental suffering. By staying present, we free ourselves from being trapped in worries, regrets, and negative thought patterns. Imagine, for instance, a musician lost in the beauty of playing a song, or a painter absorbed in their art. In those moments, they are fully present, free from distractions. This state of flow is a form of mindfulness, where the mind is quiet and connected to the now. Similarly, when we practice mindfulness, even with something as simple as our breath, we open ourselves to the beauty and peace of the present. Breath awareness as a tool for mindfulness. Breath awareness, or focusing on the rhythm of breathing, is a simple yet powerful way to cultivate mindfulness. The breath is always with us, available as an anchor to bring our attention back to the present. When we focus on our breath, we redirect our thoughts away from worries or distractions, grounding ourselves in the here and now. Here are some steps to practice breath awareness. Find a quiet space. Sit in a comfortable position, either on a chair or on the floor. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable, and allow your body to relax. Observe your breath. Focus on your breath as it naturally flows in and out. Notice the sensation of air passing through your nose, filling your lungs and gently leaving your body. There's no need to control your breathing. Simply observe it. Bring attention back when distracted. It's natural for thoughts to arise. When they do, gently bring your attention back to your breath without judgment. Think of each breath as a fresh opportunity to reconnect with the present moment. Practice for a few minutes daily. Start with just a few minutes each day, gradually increasing the time as you feel more comfortable. Consistency is key to building a habit of mindfulness. A story of mindfulness in practice. A well-known story in Buddhist tradition tells of a student who approached a Zen master for advice on finding peace. The master handed him a cup of tea and instructed him to drink it slowly, focusing entirely on each sip. At first, the student felt restless, thinking this was a waste of time. But as he continued, he noticed the warmth of the cup, the fragrance of the tea, and the simple pleasure of the moment. This exercise helped him realize that peace is found in the present, not in the mind's endless wandering. This story illustrates that mindfulness can be practiced in even the smallest daily activities, bringing us a sense of calm and connection. Benefits of mindfulness and breath awareness. Practicing mindfulness and breath awareness can have transformative effects on our mental and physical well-being. Reduces stress and anxiety. Mindfulness helps calm the mind, reducing stress and preventing anxiety from taking over. By focusing on the breath, we interrupt cycles of anxious thoughts, creating space for peace. Improves focus and clarity. Regular practice strengthens our ability to concentrate, making it easier to stay focused on work, relationships, and personal goals. Cultivates compassion. As we observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment, we become more accepting and compassionate toward ourselves, which naturally extends to others. Enhances emotional balance. Mindfulness fosters a balanced perspective, helping us respond to challenges with resilience and grace. Reflection. Embracing the present as a path to happiness. The Buddhist teachings on mindfulness remind us that true happiness isn't something we find by changing external circumstances. It is discovered by connecting with the present. Practicing breath awareness offers us a way to ground ourselves, gain control over our thoughts, and find peace within. Mindfulness isn't just a technique, it's a way of life that helps us experience each moment more fully and appreciate life's small, ordinary joys. Mindfulness and breath awareness are simple yet powerful practices for reducing stress, enhancing focus, and cultivating inner peace. The Buddha's wisdom invites us to make each moment a conscious one, using the breath as a reminder to stay connected to the present. The practice of genuine compassion and unconditional love. At the heart of the Buddha's teachings lies the concept of compassion, a boundless love that extends to all beings without expecting anything in return. True compassion is different from attachment or possessiveness. It's selfless, unconditional care that wishes for the well-being and happiness of others. Practicing genuine compassion and unconditional love helps us build meaningful relationships, bring joy to those around us, and find peace within ourselves. The difference between compassion and attachment. Compassion and attachment often get confused, especially in close relationships. Attachment is when we feel we need to possess someone or have them fulfill our desires. It creates dependency, and when unmet, it leads to disappointment or even resentment. Compassion, on the other hand, allows us to love freely, wishing only for the other person's happiness. This form of love, the Buddha taught, is liberating both for ourselves and for others because it doesn't bind or control. Think of a parent's love for their child. When rooted in compassion, the parent nurtures, supports, and respects the child's individuality, wanting them to thrive regardless of personal expectations. This love gives the child the freedom to grow and become who they are. However, when a parent's love is attached to their own desires, the child may feel pressured to meet these expectations, which can lead to tension and loss of self-identity. Compassion, therefore, is about supporting others as they are, without imposing our needs upon them. Steps to cultivate compassion and unconditional love. Genuine compassion requires patience, empathy, and practice. Here are ways to begin incorporating it into your life. Practice empathy. Take time to see things from others' perspectives. When someone shares their feelings, listen with an open heart and without judgment. Empathy strengthens bonds and helps us connect with others' experiences. Let go of expectations. Approach relationships without setting rigid expectations. Allow people to be themselves and avoid the urge to control their actions to fit your preferences. By letting go, we give love freely and experience it more fully. Engage in acts of kindness. Small acts of kindness, such as offering a smile, a helping hand, or words of encouragement, can profoundly impact others. These gestures foster compassion and bring positivity to both the giver and the receiver. Celebrate others' joy. Find happiness in the success and well-being of others. Celebrate their achievements genuinely, without jealousy or comparison. This practice expands our capacity for compassion and makes love a shared experience. A story of unconditional love and compassion. A famous story in Buddhist tradition illustrates the power of compassion. Once, a king was captured by his enemy, and instead of showing anger, he treated his captor with kindness. The king's compassion eventually softened the heart of his captor, who later released him and even became his ally. This story shows us that compassion has the power to transform even the hardest hearts, building bridges where there was once division. True compassion can change relationships, turn enemies into friends, and bring light into the darkest situations. How compassion benefits our inner peace. Compassion is not only a gift to others, but also a source of profound inner peace. When we let go of attachment and practice selfless love, we free ourselves from the anxieties and insecurities that come with possessiveness. Our relationships become healthier and our interactions more genuine. Additionally, compassion helps reduce negative emotions, such as jealousy and resentment, which are often rooted in comparison and self-centered thinking. By focusing on the happiness of others, we cultivate a more generous, open-hearted approach to life. Reflection, the joy of loving without conditions. The Buddha's teachings on compassion remind us that unconditional love is one of life's most fulfilling experiences. It allows us to connect deeply with others, create harmonious relationships, and find joy in their happiness. Practicing compassion doesn't mean neglecting our own needs. Rather, it encourages us to expand our capacity for love and kindness, enriching our lives and the lives of those around us. Genuine compassion and unconditional love bring a depth of joy and peace that is unattainable through attachment or possessiveness. The Buddha's teachings guide us to love others freely, wish for their happiness, and celebrate their successes as if they were our own. In the final section, we'll wrap up these lessons with a reflection on how they contribute to a life of lasting happiness and contentment. This will include practical steps for integrating these teachings into daily life for a fulfilling, balanced existence.
Embracing a life of lasting happiness and contentment. As we've journeyed through the teachings of the Buddha on happiness, each lesson has shown us how to cultivate a life of deeper peace, joy, and fulfillment. True happiness, according to these teachings, is not about material gain or fleeting pleasures. It is rooted in inner peace, mindful living, compassionate relationships, and a clear alignment between our words and actions. The Buddha's wisdom offers us practical tools to transform our lives, creating a foundation of happiness that remains steady through the inevitable ups and downs of life. Reflecting on the path to lasting happiness. Each teaching we've explored, whether it's the importance of simplicity, the power of mindful speech, or the transformative effect of compassion, serves as a stepping stone to living a balanced life. Together, they offer a holistic approach to well-being that nurtures the mind, heart, and soul. This approach invites us to shift from chasing external sources of happiness to cultivating a peaceful, content inner life that radiates outward. Consider the journey we've taken, balancing wealth and inner peace, recognizing that while wealth brings comfort, it doesn't guarantee happiness. By using wealth mindfully, we allow it to support rather than define us. The power of words. Understanding that mindful, compassionate communication nurtures our relationships and fosters mutual respect, trust, and understanding. Living simply. Embracing simplicity helps reduce mental clutter and increases gratitude, allowing us to appreciate life's small, precious moments. Integrity in action. Aligning words with actions strengthens our self-respect and trustworthiness, providing a foundation of authenticity in all we do. Transforming suffering. Embracing life's challenges with courage turns suffering into growth, allowing us to face adversity with resilience. Mindfulness and breath awareness. Practicing mindfulness through breath brings us back to the present, helping us reduce stress, improve focus, and connect with the beauty of the moment. Compassion and unconditional love. Loving without attachment or expectation deepens our relationships and fills our lives with joy, peace, and meaningful connections. Practical steps to incorporate these teachings into daily life. Set daily intentions. Start each day by setting a simple intention, perhaps to practice mindfulness, show kindness, or speak with compassion. This small action can help bring Buddhist teachings into your everyday routine. Create mindful moments. Throughout the day, take a few minutes to breathe mindfully, observe your surroundings, and feel gratitude for the present. These moments help ground you, no matter how busy life gets. Engage in self-reflection. At the end of each day, take time to reflect. Ask yourself how you aligned your actions with your values, what you learned, and where you can improve. Reflection strengthens self-awareness and growth. Practice generosity and kindness. Look for opportunities to help others, whether through small acts of kindness, supportive words, or just being a good listener. Compassionate actions enrich both your life and the lives of those around you. Simplify and declutter. Try reducing physical and mental clutter. Donate items you no longer need, prioritize essential tasks, and practice gratitude for what you already have. Build strong relationships. Invest in meaningful connections by listening deeply, celebrating others' successes, and offering support without expecting anything in return. Relationships built on compassion and respect bring lasting joy, a life of contentment and inner peace. The Buddha's teachings remind us that lasting happiness isn't something we pursue, it's something we create by nurturing peace within. When we live mindfully, speak kindly, act with integrity, and love without conditions, we build a life that feels both fulfilling and joyful. Each day becomes an opportunity to practice, to grow, and to connect more deeply with ourselves and others. Walking the path of true happiness, the path to lasting happiness, isn't found outside of us, but within. By integrating these teachings into our lives, we cultivate a peaceful mind, a compassionate heart, and a strong sense of purpose. The Buddha's wisdom offers timeless guidance for creating a life of harmony, resilience, and contentment, one that brings not only joy to ourselves, but also light to the world around us. This concludes the exploration of Buddhist teachings on how to live a joyful, peaceful life. As you begin to apply these principles in your journey, may you find happiness that is both steady and profound, supporting you through every season of life.